A Fundraising Grant Writing Career Guide. Chapter 1. The Grant Writing Business. Grant Writing Career. Fundraisers are people who work for non-profit organizations with the express intent of raising money any way they can, be at mass mailings, publicity events, selling chocolate bars en masse, finding big corporate contributors, etc. Non-profits hire professional people to fundraise for them. There are no set qualifications, just a knowledge of the business which you can learn about, then market yourself as a fundraising consultant. Contact a bunch of non-profits and tell them your great ideas to help them earn money. Another self-employment gig is to learn a bit about what grants are available out there for the different types of non-profit groups, along with the skill of filling in grant applications. Then market yourself as a grant writing consultant. Contact a bunch of non-profits and other social organizations, offering your services for a 10 to 15% commission fee of what they get through your efforts. You could volunteer your way into such a job. Get a certificate in nonprofit management or an MBA with a specialty in the nonprofit business. A grant broker is a middleman for nonprofit agencies looking for funding and for government and/or private grants. It is illegal for grant brokers to collect a commission. They must charge a set fee for their services and collect only that amount. You will be paid whether or not you secure a grant for your nonprofit company. You need to research grant sources, then find clients from the nonprofit organizations in your area. There are two basic types of nonprofit groups which you will be able to help with your grant-seeking efforts. Charities. Social action organizations. Charities are any group whose main goal is to help people like the homeless, the poor, the handicapped. Social action organizations are groups involved with issues like animal rights, political ideologies, the environment, etc. Contact several of the nonprofit groups in your area and convince them that you can assist them in efforts by securing grant funds for them. Introduce yourself and your service in the letter. Once you have attracted the interest of the nonprofit group, you can write the grant proposal for the group. Your grant experience is your resume. If you have secured a grant for yourself, tell them about it. If not, tell them that you have spent time researching grant sources and the application process. Once you have successfully secured grants for a few nonprofit groups, you will get a reputation and other nonprofits will come to you. To get started in this business, you need to get the word out that you are a grant writer. In most states, you do not need a license or any special qualifications to set up shop. The best way to get started is to approach a local charity organization, such as a food shelf, a homeless shelter, YMCA or YWCA, community center, and tell them you want to write a grant proposal for them and that you will do it for free. Doing a few grants for free will teach you how to write a grant and will give a potential grantee incentive to give you a try. You have to market yourself. There are several ways to do that. Buy a Yellow Pages ad. Start a website. Advertise in nonprofit, left-wing publications. When people begin to call you, you must be prepared to answer their questions and put forward a professional image that projects confidence. That means you need a professional-looking business card, letterhead, and envelopes that will identify you as a grant writer. Make it clear to your clients that applying for a grant is never a sure thing. Even the best, most sophisticated grant writers have a very small success rate, but you still need to get paid for your work. There's a journal out there called Grantsmanship Center News. You can start your search by going to the library and looking for books on foundations and grants, such as the Foundation Directory, International Foundation Directory, Canadian Directory to Foundations and Granting Agencies, the Foundation on Grants Index, the Grants Register, People in Philanthropy, National Directory of Corporate Giving, Corporate 500, the Directory of Corporate Philanthropy, Corporate Giving Directory, Awards, Honors, and Prizes, Directory of Grants in the Humanities, Foundation Guide for Religious Grant Seekers, Directory of Research Grants. A grant writing article at jobmonkey.com/nonprofit/grant-writing. A short article. Grant writing websites. Try these websites. fdncenter.org/onlib/orient/introl.html, grant seminar. access.gpo.gov/su_docs/aces/aces140, federal. advsol.com/public/products. nlsc.gov, grants to provide legal services to the poor. aoa.dhs.gov/jpost/gr-foundations. arts.endow.gov, National Endowment for the Arts. arts.gov, National Endowment for the Arts. ascentech.com. cfda.gov, Catalog of Federal Domestic Assistance. chardonpress.com/titles/ip_resources. cs.cmu.edu/FINA-ID/FINA-ID, database of grants. doc.gov, Department of Commerce. doe.gov, Energy. doi.gov, Department of the Interior. dol.gov, Help people get off welfare. dot.gov, Do transportation research. ed.gov, Education. fdncenter.org. fdncenter.org/pnd/current, philanthropy news. Digest. fema.gov, Grants to deal with natural disasters. firstgov.gov. foundationcommons.org. fundersonline.org. fundeasy.com. fundsnetservices.com. galaxy.einet.net/gj/grants.html. grantguides.com. grantprofessionals.org. grantsinternational.com. grantsnet.org. gsa.gov/fdac, Catalog of Federal Domestic Assistance. hhs.gov, Health and Human Services. hoovers.com. hsilver.com, Proposal Writing. hud.gov, Housing. imls.gov, Grants to Museums. infosurvey.rttonet.psu.edu/gweb.htm. infoterra.com, Software. lesco.com, Buy a book about government. Grants. login.cos.com, Science-funded research. Database. marathonmoney.org. ncup.org/links/nonprof. nih.fed.us, National Endowment for the Humanities. nng.org, National Network of Grant Makers. nonprofit.gov. npinfotech.org. nptimes.com. nsf.gov, nsf.org, Science. nirag.org, New York Regional Association of Grant Makers. ocd.usda.gov/enofa. orl.sri.com/plans/crit, online evaluation. Resource library. ojp.usdoj.gov/bja, sample evaluation plan. Outline. ojp.usdoj.gov/vawo/conta ppkit, online. Application sample. philanthropy.com. sagepub.co.uk. sciencewise.com. tc.umn.edu/nlhome/g248/bergq003/wa. people.netscape.com, Ask prominent people for money. rag.org, Regional Assistance of Grant Makers. taftgroup.com. technogrants.com. tgci.com, Grantsmanship Center. thompson.com, Federal Grants Management. Book. trackworld.com. usdoj.gov, Law Enforcement, Crime Prevention. usip.org, World Peace. weber.u.washington.edu/delam/research.html. wkkf.org/publications/eval-hdbk, evaluation. Handbook. wmh.edu/eval-ctr, evaluation center, Western Michigan University, U.S. Congress, Washington, D.C. 20515 202-224-3121, House.gov. Free booklet grants and foundation support. Grant writer and manager job websites. The Giving Institute, givingusa.org, agwa.us/job opportunities, jobs.afpnet.org/job-seekers, philanthropy.com/jobs $CID=UCOPNAVTOP, jobs.cof.org, philanthropynewsdigest.org/jobs, careers.councilofnonprofits.org, advancing philanthropy, afpnet.org/publications/issuelist.cfm?navitem number =544, Chronicle of Philanthropy, philanthropy.com, American Grant Writers Association agwa.us, 13801 Walsingham Road number A410, Largo, Florida 33774, 3237, 727-596-5150. Customer service at certifiedgrantwriters.com. agwa.us, Association of Fundraising Professionals, 4300 Wilson Boulevard number 300, Arlington, Virginia 22203-4179, 800-666-3863, afp@afpnet.org, afpnet.org, CFRE International, 300 North Washington Street number 504, Alexandria, Virginia 22314-2535, 703-820-5555, Succeed at CFRE.org, CFRE.org, The Giving Institute, 225 West Wacker Drive, Chicago, Illinois 60606-1224, 312-981-6794, info@givinginstitute.org, givinginstitute.org, Grantsmanship Center, POB 17220, Los Angeles, California 90017-0220, 800-421-9512, tgci@tgci.com, tgci.com. Chapter 2. A Fundraising Job Guide. Fundraising Job Essay. Fundraisers are people who work for non-profit organizations with the express intent of raising money any way they can, be at mass mailings, publicity events, selling chocolate bars en masse, finding big corporate contributors, etc. Non-profits hire professional people to fundraise for them. There are no set qualifications, just a knowledge of the business which you can learn about, then market yourself as a fundraising consultant, contact a bunch of non-profits and tell them your great ideas to help them earn money. Another self-employment gig is to learn a bit about what grants are available out there for the different types of non-profit groups, along with the skill of filling in grant applications. Then market yourself as a grant writing consultant, contact a bunch of non-profits and other social organizations, offering your services for a 10 to 15% commission fee of what they get through your efforts. You could volunteer your way into such a job, get a certificate in nonprofit management or an MBA with a specialty in the nonprofit business. Nonprofit Corporate Partnership Job Websites. American Marketing Association, AMA. 800-262-1150. Customers Upport at ama.org. ama.org. Association of Fundraising Professionals, AFP. 4300 Wilson Boulevard Suite 300. Arlington, Virginia 22203-4179, 800-666-3863, afp@afpglobal.org, afpglobal.org, CFRE International, 225 Reinekers Lane Suite 625, Alexandria, Virginia 22314-2881, 703-820-5555. Succeed at CFRE.org, CFRE.org. National Association of Corporate Directors, NACD. 1515 North Courthouse Road Suite 1200. Arlington, Virginia 22201-2915. 571-367-3700. NACDonline.org. National Council of Nonprofits, NCNP. 1001 G Street, NW, Suite 700E. Washington, D.C. 20001-4545. 202-962-0322. Councilofnonprofits.org. Fundraising Job Events. case.org/events/annual-conference-donor-relations-professionals, donor relations professionals. grantprofessionals.org/conference, Grant Professionals Association. Venture philanthropy websites at kali.org/society/philanthropy/social_enterprise/venture_capital. Ashoka.org, Ashoka, a global organization that identifies and invests in leading social entrepreneurs, individuals with innovative and practical ideas for solving social problems. Benetech.org, Benetech, nonprofit social entrepreneurial venture harnessing the power of technology for social benefit. EchoingGreen.org, Echoing Green, global nonprofit that provides seed funding and technical assistance to emerging social entrepreneurs with ideas for social change. EnterpriseWorks.org, EnterpriseWorks Worldwide, a nonprofit organization that fights poverty in the developing world through business development programs for small agricultural producers and other entrepreneurs. EquityForAfrica.org, Equity for Africa, social investment in small businesses in Africa to enable sustainable employment creation. GSVC.org, Global Social Venture Competition, a global MBA student business plan competition for social ventures, organizations that not only create profits, but also a social or environmental return on investment. Nesty.org, NES, works to solve critical social problems in emerging democracies by developing and supporting enterprises that strengthen civil society organizations' financial sustainability and maximize their impact. NewProfit.org, New Profit Inc., a non-profit venture philanthropy fund that invests in social entrepreneurs. PlusAcumen.org, PlusAcumen, supports enterprises that increase income, increase assets, and create jobs for the 4 billion people on Earth who earn a few dollars a day. VenturesFoundation.org, Philanthropic Ventures Foundation, works with individuals, families, businesses, and foundations, serving their philanthropic needs as well as initiating giving programs, anywhere in the world. Chapter 3. Fundraising Job Websites. Fundraising Job Websites 1. AFRDS.com, AFRDS.org, Association of Fundraising Distributors and Suppliers. APRAMA.org, Association of Professional Researchers for Advancement. AFPNet.org, Association of Fundraising Professionals, AFP, is the professional association of individuals and organizations that generate philanthropic support for charitable institutions. grantprofessionals.org/membership. Grant Professionals Association, GPA, builds and supports a community of grant professionals committed to serving the greater public good. Association of Fundraising Professionals. AFPNet.org. develop-net.com. cdsfunds.com. Search a nice listing of job postings section under Career Database and access additional resources on this site. Council on Foundations. cof.org. An association of grant-making foundations and corporations. Association of Fundraising Council. aafrc.org. Giving Institute. givinginstitute.org. Use the member firms directory to identify potential employers in the fundraising industry. Fundraising job websites 2. JustGiving.com. CharityMania.com. This organization provides inexpensive ways for schools, churches, sports teams, and the like to sell raffle tickets. A2zfundraisingIdeas.com/fundjobraising. afpnet.jobcontrolcenter.com. foundationcenter.org/grantmakers. letsdoneauction.com, non-profit auctioneer. atschool.edu/pohagan/jdfdmgr.htm, fundraising manager job profile. charityadvantage.com. conservativbeacon.com/fundraising/job-description-fund-raising.html. developpro.com/jobs/jobdevpro/help-me-find-a-job.html. ewi.org/alumni/frs.asp, fundraising scholarships job opportunities. foraani job.com/job-search/fund-raising-florida-3729.htm. fund-raising.com. fundraisingstirategeese.com. fundraisingzone.com/work-at-home-moms/fund-raising-career.htm. holmanconsulting.com/careers.html. i-need-job-fund-raising-ford-animal.puli.olawa.pl. cotp.org. nsfree.org/education_and_career_development/first_course_in_fundraising. philanthropy.com. priorityfundraising.com/jobs.php. raise-funds.com. schoolsintheusa.com/career-profiles_details.cfm?carry D=809. sossaman.com/fund.htm. thefundraisingspot.com/links/fund-job-raising.html. tkfundraising.com/jobopenings.php. annex.uci.edu/certificates/business_management_supervisory_skills/fundraising. wik.smsrelief.org. fundraising job websites 3. philanthropy.com/jobs?cid=UCOPNAV top. jobs.afpnet.org/jobseekers. indeed.com/q-fundraising-jobs.html. careerbuilder.com. advancing philanthropy, afpnet.org/publications/issuelist.cfm?navitem number =544 right parenthesis. The Chronicle of Philanthropy, philanthropy.com. American Association of Political Consultants. 8400 West Park Drive, 2nd floor. McLean, Virginia 22102-3522. 703-245-8020. info@theaapc.org. theaapc.org. Certified Fundraising Executive. CFRE International. 300 North Washington Street, Suite 504. Alexandria, Virginia 22314-2535. 703-820-5555. Succeed at CFRE.org. CFRE.org. Fundraising job websites 4. simplyhired.com. indeed.com. linkedin.com. monster.com. afpglobal.org. Council on Foundations, COF. 255 23rd Street NW, Suite 200. Washington, D.C. 20037-1152. 800-673-9036. cof.org. Advertising and Marketing Association. Anna. 155 East 44th Street. New York, New York 10017. 212-697-5950. thedma.org. Candid. Candid.org. National Council of Nonprofits, NCN. 1001 G Street, NW, Suite 700E. Washington, D.C. 20001-4545. 202-962-0322. councilofnonprofits.org. Public Relations Society of America. PRSA. 120 Wall Street 21st floor. New York, New York 10005 4024. 212-460-1400. PRSA.org. Fundraising job websites 5. CFRE exam. CFRE.org/certification. The Association of Fundraising Professionals. acfre.org/what-is-the-acfre.html. philanthropy.com/jobs?CID=UCOPNAVT. Advancing Philanthropy. afpnet.org/publications/issuelist.cfm?navitem number =544. givinginstitute.org.